I'm Meg McCall. I'm the owner of Angle Oar, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble your Versa paddle system. Assuming your mount is together and it fits your kayak, it's time to put together your Versa paddle assembly. Now, in some cases, this will already be pre-assembled for you when you receive it, but in most cases, you'll have to put these two pieces together. We call them the right and the left hub. The left hub, you may not be able to see it very well. There are two holes. One is a shallow hole, and that receives the pin that allows you to angle the Versa paddle, and the other one has a small set screw inside of there. And what that is a small screw that when this steel pin is inserted, that screw gets tightened with this Allen wrench that is also included in your packet to make sure that the pin stays snug in there. And I will say that from time to time, even once that's in there, that pin can loosen a little bit, so hang on to the Allen wrench and then you can tighten it if need be. It's a good idea to check it before you go on your next outing. So we're simply going to take the right one as you're looking from behind. My right is this thumb pin, and this left one has the two holes in it. You align the holes like that. And this steel pin has a small flat area on it. It's not critical, but ideally you're having that flat surface face inside where the set screw will tighten onto it. And so you put in the end of the Allen wrench and you give it a few turns. You want it snug, but again, don't over tighten. And that pin is very snug in place. And now you use the thumb pin here to adjust this pin. So that would be the angled position and that would be the straight position. With this central hub attached, it's time to add the Versa paddle blades. I did want to point out that there is a push pin on each of the lower sides of this. And again, from your own vantage point, the thumb pin will be on the right. And here I've got the turquoise Versa paddle blades, and what I tell people is as you're looking at it from this vantage point with the thumb pin on the right, you should be able to read the Angle Oar logo in an upward position, and that way you know you have the correct blade on the correct side. You might put them on the wrong side the first time and it's not that big of a deal, you just swap them out. You simply press the pin, push it in there, and to start with, I just recommend going to the shortest distance. That just makes the whole blade a little bit more easy to handle while you're trying it out on your kayak. Put this one in. For this installation, I have them at the two shortest points. Now, if you go to the mid or the longest points, this blade will range in length from 220 to 255 centimeters. So part of that will depend on the paddler, part of it will depend on how wide the kayak is and how far you are off the water. Now, this is the part that sometimes takes a little practice to get the first time. To angle this, your inclination might be just to hold this with one thumb and try to pull on it. Well, the pressure on this left blade is preventing that from moving on its own. So what I recommend is you just put one hand under the left side and then pull it back, and then you can adjust it. And so keep your hands on both sides as you do it back and forth. It works very easily, but as I said, it might take a little practice the first time. With the Versa paddle assembled, and assuming you have either the hinge mount or the apex mount or one of our other mounts, it's time to put the steel pin into the clevis post. Now, I recommend that you put the paddle into the post when you're holding the post, as opposed to putting the post on there and then putting the paddle in. You can do it either way. I just find I have a little bit more control if I do it this way. And what I like to do is hold it against my abdomen, slide the two steel pins in there and give it a good snap. Now, this is really in there and it's very difficult to get out at times, and that's by design, because as this is rotating about the post, you don't want that coming out. But just know that it may require some extra effort to actually pull it out of there, and that's okay. You've got it on the support post, you're ready to go. And again, the idea is that you're doing a slight downward pressure as you're paddling the Versa paddle, and that prevents the whole clevis from coming up. If you're lifting and paddling, this is going to happen. But if you pay attention to your form and you think of more of a downward pressure on each side as you do each stroke, you shouldn't have any problem. The other thing I wanted to mention is that sometimes paddlers will have a tendency to go up and down like this as opposed to a full stroke. So just remember when you're doing the stroke, and whether it's straight or angled, this is true, to pull the blade all the way forward and then back through the water, as opposed to this up and down motion that I sometimes see. If you have any questions, we've got videos, we've got written instructions, we've got customer demos. You can find out more about this mount and our other mounts on our website. Thanks so much.